Hey friends, it's Haley. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are continuing my brand new series, What's New in YA this week. This week we're talking about every YA release that I could find being released today, Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. Now, I'm so sorry this is late. I said I was going to post these on Saturdays, Sundays, or Mondays. It is now Tuesday. This weekend was just really hectic for me, and I wasn't able to do as much research as I usually was able to over the weekend, so I had to get a lot done today. So that's why this is late, but I'm hoping that from now on I will be on time with these. They'll be either Saturdays, Sundays, or Mondays. I might have put a poll up on my Twitter if people have a preference for when these come out. Most books come out on Tuesdays for chart and shipping reasons that I don't really understand all that well, but that's why books tend to come out on Tuesdays. All of the books that I'm going to be talking about today come out today, Tuesday, February 9th. I have a grand total of 13 titles I'm bringing to you today, so less than last week, but still a really great selection, and I'm super excited to share with you guys. So just a little disclaimer, I use Goodreads for all my information, and when I could, I confirmed on the author's social media accounts, but if any of these release dates are incorrect, please forgive me and let me know in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, the first book we have is As Far As You'll Take Me by Phil Stamper. This is a standalone, and it follows Marty, a 17-year-old gay boy who leaves his conservative hometown for London and is torn between his new life and his old one, as well as struggling with his mental health. From the author of The Gravity of Us, and it's described as perfect for fans of Becky Albertalli. It sounds really great, and I'm really excited to check it out. Next up, we've got Curse of the Divine by Kim Smedjkal, I believe is how you say it. It is the sequel to The Ink and the Blood and the final book in the duology. The first book follows Celia and Anya, two best friends who run away from their roles as tattooists for a religious order, only to be followed by an angry, tyrannical deity that they never believed to be real. It's a high fantasy, and as far as representation goes, I have a quote from the author from a question that she answered on Goodreads that I thought was really telling about what the representation was like. So it's, the world building in ink includes tenors, a visible, variable aura that everyone has that reflects their gender identity, orientation, identity, and expression are along continuums, and there is no binary, but to use familiar terms, the novel features non-binary and trans characters, and on page, male, male, female, female, and bi-rep. So it sounds like it's got a lot of really great representation, especially for gender identity and sexual orientation. So if you're interested in that, I would definitely check this series out. And it's described as perfect for fans of Leigh Bardugo and Kendra Blake. Next up is The Electric Kingdom by David Arnold. It's a standalone, and it follows three characters in a world that is decimated by a fly flu and their quest to find light and life in a world gone dark. And it's described as Station 11 meets The Fifth Wave, so it's like a post-apocalyptic type novel. And it sounds really interesting. Next up is Game Changer by Neil Chesterman, and this is a standalone, and it follows Ash, a high school football player who gets injured and can now travel to alternate dimensions. It focuses on topics such as racism, sexism, and homophobia from the point of view of a straight white boy. There's mixed reviews on how exactly this was handled. Some say it was well-intentioned, some say it was playing into the white savior trope, so just be aware of that before you pick it up, that might be something that's present in this novel. Next up we have The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna, and this is the first in the Deathless trilogy, according to Goodreads, so there's going to be 3 books. It follows Daka, a girl with golden blood in a village that sees her as an outcast who is given the choice to go fight for the emperor in an army of girls like her. I'm so excited for this one. The author posted on Twitter, and she was talking about how she was always told that books with black girls on the cover don't sell, and now this book is coming out, and if you look at the cover, it's absolutely gorgeous. It is like one of the top 3 most anticipated books on Goodreads for this month, and behind some really high profile releases. So I'm just so excited for the author and so excited for this book because it sounds awesome. It's my most anticipated release of this week. It sounds absolutely fantastic and so interesting. Next up, we've got The Girl from Shadow Springs by Ellie Cipher, and this is a standalone, and it follows Jory and Cody, 2 teens who must brave a frozen wasteland and the foes within it to save their loved ones and uncover a deadly secret. It's described as The Remnant meets True Grit with a magical twist. This is just a side note, but whenever publishers describe something as blank meets blank, it makes my job a lot easier, so keep that up, publishers, because I really appreciate it. This Hot British Boyfriend by Christy Boyce. This is a standalone, and it follows Ellie, a girl who joins her study abroad trip to London after being rejected by her crush and teams up with her classmate to win over a hot British boy. Reviews say it's a very cute and sweet romance with an interesting cast of characters. Next up is The Iron Raven by Julie Kagawa, and this is the first in a spin-off trilogy of the Iron Fae series, and it's also book 8 in the Iron Fae series, I believe, according to Goodreads. The Iron Fae series follows Megan, a girl who discovers that she is the daughter of a fairy king and becomes a pawn in a dangerous war. Now, I'm not going to go into what The Iron Raven is about because I haven't read The Iron Fae yet, and I want to, and I don't want to spoil myself, but it seems like you should read the Iron Fae series before picking this one up, as I believe it takes place after the events of that series. I'm not entirely sure about that, but that's the vibe I got from the reviews I read. Next up is Necropolis by Bethan Evans, and this is a standalone, and I couldn't find a lot of information about this one. It's a dystopian, and it follows a girl in a society that has been oppressed and tries to stop girls from doing anything, and how she attempts to get into the army as an undercover soldier. But the people who read it on Goodreads really liked it. It didn't have a ton of reviews, but it sounds like it's a really promising read, so. Next up is a Pho Love Story by Lone Lee, and it's a standalone, and it follows two Vietnamese-American teens, Lin and Bao, who fall in love and must navigate their newfound relationship amid their family's age-old feud about their competing neighboring restaurants. It's described as When Dibble Met Rishi Meets Ugly Delicious, and I, for one, am really excited to pick this one up because the representation sounds great, and I'm super excited because I've been really into contemporaries lately, so. Next up is a super highly anticipated release for me. It's called Rebel Daughter by Lori Banov Kaufman, and it's a standalone, and it follows Esther, a Jewish girl living at the time of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, who longs for much more than the marriage her parents have arranged for her, and faces many hardships as a Jewish girl living in the Roman Empire. It has fantastic reviews on Goodreads. It's got like a 4.7 something star rating on Goodreads, and it's one of my most anticipated releases of this week. If you didn't know, I'm really interested in world religions and Judaism, and plus historical novels are some of my favorites, so I'm super excited to get into this one because it sounds absolutely fantastic, and the reviews are absolutely great. Next up is Stormbreak by Natalie C. Parker, and this is the final book in the Seafire trilogy. The first book follows Caledonia, who starts a crew of female pirates after her family is killed by a corrupt warlord and must decide whether to take on one of his defecting army. And it's a team of girl pirates taking down a corrupt warlord. Sign me up. It sounds awesome. And last but not least is We Are the Ashes, We Are the Fire by Jordan McCullough. It's a standalone, and it follows M, a girl struggling with guilt and a desire for revenge after her sister's rapist escapes with no prison time. It's from the author of Blood, Water, Paint, and it's told in prose and verse. And it also intertwines the story of Marguerite de Brescia, a legendary avenging knight for rape victims in the 15th century. And it's described as a searing and nuanced portrayal of a young woman torn between a persistent desire for revenge and a burning need for hope. So that's it. Those are the 13 YA titles that I could find coming out today, February 9th. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I am going to be giving you guys some new content hopefully soon. I'm working on my first reading vlog. Hopefully that will be coming out in the next couple of days. If not, it'll be coming out soon, and you'll get next week's YA releases of this week much earlier than you did this week. So I love you guys. I can't wait to talk to you. I am so excited for a lot of these releases coming out, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about all of them and your thoughts on this video. So please, again, like, comment, and subscribe if you can, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!